Okay, welcome to another installment of the Anderson Training Systems One Step at a Time Fitness Success Program video series. We're out at the track today. It's a really balmy day in Arizona. It's January 20th of 2008. You can see I'm out here in short sleeves. I probably don't need my sweatpants on. But what we're going to talk about today is interval training. This is the dirty little secret that most people don't know when they get a chance to read when they're looking in online or at fitness magazines that really nobody knows about. Part of the reason it's a dirty secret is that it's very difficult. Most people don't want difficult in their fitness unless you want real good results. In that instance, you're in the right place. Basically what interval training is working for a short, briefer period of time at a very intense rate and then working for a little bit longer period of time at a slower rate to basically allow recovery for your heart rate. Why is this better than getting on the treadmill and going at the same pace? Well, for all practical means and purpose, going on a treadmill at the same pace for long periods of time like many people do, especially this time of year when everybody's starting their New Year's resolution, only burns the amount of calories that you're burning while you're on the treadmill. And by the way, all those calorie counters on those treadmills and ellipticals that you're riding, they're probably not giving you very accurate information. What happens with interval training is that we elevate our heart rate to such a degree and are working at such a high rate, and this is for everybody, and we'll get into that in a second, to such a high degree that after exercise, you're still burning calories for up to a 48-hour period. So you can see you're getting a ton of bang for your buck. The other cool thing about interval training, because of its intensity, its work rate, is that you don't have to do quite as many repetitions of it. What we're going to do today, and what I'm going to do, is I'm going to do some interval training with a kettlebell here. Pretty simple tool. Not the only tool, but I'm just going to give you a look at it. I have my heart rate monitor on so I can give you a little feedback on what's going on. I'm going to, generally speaking, when you're starting out with interval training, you want to work at a 3-to-1 rest to work interval. Meaning, if I do 1 minute of kettlebell swinging and I'm just starting out, I want to take a 3-minute little walk jog around the track here that I'm at. If you're really deconditioned, it may be maybe you need to work up maybe into a 5-to-1. Potentially start with somewhere in the range of 3 to 5 repetitions in interval training if you're not accustomed to this. This is very intense exercise. I'm in Fair Fitness right now, and I'll give you a readout on my heart rate monitor on what my level is when we get started here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm just doing simple two-handed swings. You want to use real non-technical exercises. You're going to do weighted work in your interval training. And then I'm also going to do just a light jog around the track. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer here for one minute, and I'm going to go ahead and get to work. That's time. My heart rate right now is about 166 beats a minute. That's one more minute of work. That's well over 80% of my maximum. So I'm working very hard. Now I'm going to immediately go into my 3 minutes of resting work, so to speak, and I'll be right back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. That was my rest interval. I'm breathing a little bit heavy still. I recovered down to about 130 beats. I pushed my rest interval and my rest exercise a little bit harder than what most of you are going to need to initially, just because I'm trying to get in shape for my season. Obviously, don't let this intimidate you. This is something that you can start off with pretty easy, simple exercise. You can start out with something simple as squat, thrust, or inchworms. You don't have to move into really advanced weighted drills like the kettlebell swing. Or simply, if you're at a really commercial facility, you can do this on an elliptical or treadmill. And all you're going to do is, in some way, shape, or form, increase your intensity. Whether it's increasing the incline, increasing the resistance on the elliptical, any way, shape, or form. Basically, what all really comes down to is we want you to work really hard for 1 minute and then take it easy, kind of just stay loose and stay moving for about 3 minutes. As you become more proficient at that kind of exercise, you're going to either add repetitions of those, working up to doing maybe 30 to 45 minutes tops of those on an off day of weight training, or to decrease your rest interval. Maybe you go down to one minute work interval, 2 minute rest interval. That's it. That's the interval training, the dirty little secret that maybe some of you haven't heard about, or if you're a seasoned pro and have kind of been slacking off because it's really difficult, you need to get back in your program to get back on your fat loss goals. Remember, our motto here at Anderson Training Systems is fitness ain't pretty, results are, and that's exactly what interval training is all about. So this is Troy Anderson signing off for Anderson Training Systems, one step at a time, fitness success program.